Hello, boiled and ghouled and everyone creepy in between. This is another episode of your average Ghost Mom podcast. Did you miss me? Well, my bad. Uh, look, y'all, I needed a minute. I needed a minute. Um, for those of you who don't realize, I did not post last Sunday. I did not upload anything. I took a week off of TikTok. I took a week off of Instagram. I needed a week off from social media and vlogging because it got a lot. It got a lot last week, y'all. Um so my parents were in 2 weeks ago, and their two dogs were here, and everything was happening every day. I worked every day, and they went and did something every day while I was at work, and then Friday we took a half day off. And so I was working Friday, and then we did a thing Friday, and then Saturday we did things all day. And then Sunday they got up and went back home, and I took Ava to her dad. And then I went home and I slept and I got back up and I went grocery shopping and then I went and got Ava back. And boom, boom, boom. And then like, holy crap. I think I did post that Sunday. So then from there, I think that was the Sunday that I recorded and posted that day because I was like, holy moly, super crazy today. So then from there, okay, so at the beginning of every month with my job, um, the eligibility team has to re-verify every single patient in the system's insurance to verify that it's still active and it's still primary. Um, and so that started last week. Um, it was kind of really hectic at the end because it was, let's hurry up and try and get like the rest of these from the month of March done before we start on April, and we couldn't get it done. And so then April started, and that is the start of overtime. So generally speaking, when we um do the re-verifies at the beginning of every month, we get to work overtime. Like if we want to. It's not, we don't have to, but like most of us do. And so Thursday was an extra 2 hours. Friday, extra 2 hours. Saturday, I could have worked an extra 4 hours. So Friday is kind of when it started. When, holy moly, this is a lot, started for me. Because Friday I was like, man, like today was a crap day because that's when my manager took off. She had been planning on this cruise for like a year or two now. And so Fridays was when she started taking off. Um, and that was when like Friday is one of the worst days in the week because we have to do all of the new patients for Friday and for Saturday and for Sunday and for Monday. And usually, like if it's like a Tuesday, we only have to do all the new patients for Tuesday and then for Wednesday. And then on Wednesday, we do whatever we didn't get done for Wednesday, and then we do Thursday. So Friday, because the team doesn't work on the weekends, we have to do as many patients as we can for over the weekend and into Monday, so that way the branches can schedule out their clinicians to go, see these patients. Pardon me. I'm trying a little something new. I'm having a drink in here with me, which I've not done before, but I've noticed that like because I'm talking a lot, my throat tends to get a little drier, and so I'm trying to like, nope, let's make sure we keep a drink in here with me. So, If you hear me drinking, that's just me staying hydrated, so I have the best sound for you guys. But so anyway, Fridays are usually always busy because we have an extra 3 days of work that we have to get done in one day. And then on top of it, Medicare has multiple portals that it runs in. So, like, there's one report that it automatically runs in our medical record system, and it was down. And so we had to run, like, manually run every single Medicare patient in one of our portals, which normally we don't have to do. And we get a lot of Medicare patients. Um, we are now an official team of 7, if you include my manager. There's 6 of us plus my manager. We just hired on a new person and he's been training. So he's been helping where he can, getting in like the training where he can with the different payers for different branches and the different portals and stuff. So it's been helpful having him because he's not assigned any specific branches yet, so he can kind of float around and help when, when and where needed. So he was helping take care of our Medicare patients for all of us, but as like a regular team of 5 with branches assigned to us, we have like 5 or 6 thousand patients amongst all of us. Actually, it might be more like 8,000 because I could be bullshitting actually. I think it is more like 5 or 6 thousand patients. Yeah, between all of us. So we have to re-verify basically like 1,000 patients each, assuming Medicare works correctly, because most of your Medicares will just automatically run the report and then boom, it's done. You just open up, look at a report, say, okay, I reviewed it, and that's it. Whereas like most of the other patients, you have to like go log into the portal, type in their like name, date of birth, ID. Then you have to save the document, and then you have to make a new note, and then you have to attach the document, and then you have to click the review. Done. So it takes like an extra 2 minutes for the regular patients that aren't Medicare. But anyway, so Friday, shit was going awry, basically. Saturday, I had signed up to work 4 hours overtime. Well, Saturday morning, I wake up and I have a headache, and I'm like, probably just a morning headache, whatever. And I'm trying to work and I'm trying to push through it, and I took some meds and they're not kicking in, and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, this is not just a headache, this is a migraine. So I have chronic migraines. Um, from my mom's side. It's a genetic thing for me. And if you've never experienced a migraine or you don't have chronic migraines, zip it. You don't get to stand here and say, oh, it's just a bad headache. Just take some Excedrin migraine. Guess what, honey? I've tried and that doesn't work. I have to have a prescription from the doctor on a special kind of medication to help with this. Because it's not just a bad headache. It's an actual migraine that, like, if I don't take this medication, I cry from the pain, which ended up happening this week. But I'll get to that. So Saturday, I'm trying to work, trying to work, trying to work. Let me just like take like let me just take like an hour break. Let me just take this medicine. Let me try and get away from the screens because I know part of it is the fact that I work on screens for 8 hours a day. That kind of that can contribute to the migraines. So let me just give myself a little break this morning already. I try to do, excuse me, a couple things, and I come back and it's not kicking, and I'm like, okay, gosh, okay, let me go take a nap because usually I can take some meds, take a nap, and I wake up and I'm good. I take a nap. I ended up taking a nap for like a couple hours. And the crap thing is, now the plan is not crap. The overall day plan was not crap. It was in the moment, it's crap. And let me tell you, because that week I had made plans with my friend who's going to college in Birmingham right now to meet up with her to have dinner because it's been like I don't know. Realistically, it probably hasn't been 2 months. Maybe it has. I have no sense of time. Like, we're lucky that I'm keeping up with what I'm keeping up with, honestly. So I had already made plans with her for Saturday dinner time when she got off work. We'd get Mexican down in Birmingham together. So I didn't want to back out on that plan because, like, she's my friend. I miss her. I really want to see her. But I really wanted to work these 4 hours of overtime and get these patients knocked out. Well, nope. Not happening today because I took a nap and then I took a phone call. And then before I knew it, I was like, dude, there's like no point in me like logging on for like 20 minutes to get like 5 patients done because then I'm gonna have to get ready and then I'm gonna leave and, go down there. So it just sucked that I got a migraine and I had to like take care of the migraine during the time of day that I was going to be working my overtime. Um, but it happens because I ended up having a really fun night with my friend. Let's see. I got caught in a flash sky is falling out kind of thunderstorm on the way down there. Um, and when I pulled up when I pulled up onto campus, I had 9 miles left to my gas tank and I was like, "Oh, that's not good," because I forgot. Typical girl moment. I forgot to check my gas before I left Huntsville. I got most of the way to Birmingham and then my gas light turned on and I'm like, what?" But I looked and Google's like, "Oh, you'll be there in like 13 miles." And my gas tank said I had 26 left. And I'm like, okay, I can get there. And then when I leave, I'll immediately go to the gas station. So pull in 9 miles left. And I'm like, okay, let's not tell anybody about this ever. As I record it on a podcast and tell everybody. So I get there and she gets off work and she goes and she picks up the Mexican and she meets me at campus and we leave my car in one of the general like parking spots. And I hop in her car and we go up to her dorm to drop off food for her dorm, dorm roommate. I wanted to say dorm mate, but I was like, oh, that's not right. What is it? What is it? What is it? Roommate. She got her roommate some Mexican too. So we take ours and we go to what is it? Oh, the Vulcan statue, I think. And maybe it's like Vulcan Park. I don't know. But basically, it's like some guy who helped found Birmingham or something like that with the coal mines. I'm not quite 100% sure. I was kind of on a weird kick while I was with her, so I really didn't pay attention. Well, so we went there. We parked in the parking lot and it was windy, and I already don't really like eating outside, but then it was windy on top of it, so I was like, no, 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 we're eating in the car. So we open up the bags of food, pull out the chips, because of course you get chips and dip when you get Mexican. And I'm looking and I'm like, there's no queso. She goes, "Gosh dang it. That was in the bag that I gave to my roommate. I thought that was her soup toppings." So then I pull out the first small box and it's her soup toppings. So we had her roommate's soup toppings and her roommate had the queso, but we had the chips. So it's like, dang it. So we're going through the bags even more. They didn't give us silverware. So she had like, I think she had two enchiladas and rice and beans, and I just had a quesadilla with rice and beans. Now, granted, my quesadilla was not stiff, it was really floppy, but I at least could still eat mine with my hands. She couldn't. But luckily, we found a spoon in her console because, mind you, she's a college kid. She's not a mom. So, like me, she doesn't have a whole Ziploc bags of spoons and forks and straws and napkins in her glove box. Whereas, of course, I would have that because that's just, I don't know, just mom things, like so what if the kid throws her fork out the window? Or one day I was cleaning out my car and I found two broken plastic fork heads on the floor of where my daughter goes, like where she sits, where her feet go. Two plastic fork heads. I'm like, when did this even happen? When did we even eat in the car last for you to have had two forks? So this was two times that this happened. I could not remember the last time we even ate in the car. So I'm like, well, that happened. Anyway, so she finds a spoon at like the bottom underneath all this crap in her center console. And I look at her, I'm like, look, you have the enchiladas. You use it first. I think I can eat my quesadilla with my hands and I can use the chips to eat the beans and rice. If I need the spoon, I'll use it after you. So we're like, okay. So we're eating and it's really good. It just probably would have been better if we had queso to go with the chips and maybe a fork, but whatever, that's fine. So we're eating and we get done and we're like, okay, let's like go see this statue because like I've never seen it before. And she's like, you can go all the way up to the top where his feet are, but I'm not walking all those stairs and the elevator's broken. And I'm like, I'm not because I have a fear of heights and I have vertigo. So if, which, coincides with the chronic migraines. So if I go up there, I will hurl all of this Mexican food, and you'll have to carry me down because I'll be too dizzy to walk down on my own. She's like, okay, so we're not going up. I'm like, no, no. So we get our tickets because you have to pay for tickets to go into this freaking little park area, but whatever. State's got to make money. So get our tickets and we go, and it's like a beautiful view of Birmingham from like this hill that this park is on. It is, it's, it's lovely during the day. It's better at night because any overview of a city is so much better at night like this, with all the lights and stuff. So we're sitting, there's like different high school proms going on, and there's different like college formal dances going on. And so people are like up there getting like their pictures taken in their pretty dresses and their lovely suits. And so we're like, well, hey, like let's go to the museum part. So we just like go around the statue to this little museum, and it's just talking about how the Vulcan statue was made and how Birmingham is like the Iron City and there's iron mines and it was it was cool. It was cool. There was like a little like theater section about something. It was really hard for me to like focus for some reason. I think I was just like really excited to see my friend because I just haven't seen her in so long and like I'm here like on her territory basically because like she's the one going to Birmingham for school. She's not going to Birmingham. She's going to a different college in Birmingham, but she this is like her territory. This is her land. This is her part. Like I'm here for her. And I think I was just too stoked to really pay attention to anything. I think I also was too focused on the fact that I needed to figure out what the Vulcan statue was holding because he's holding something and I couldn't tell what it was. I thought the whole time that it was probably a spade. But like we went into this freaking museum and I'm trying to read everything, but there's like people all around us. It's not even that busy. There's just like a couple families in there with like little kids and the kids are being loud and I'm just like I can't focus on anything. I can't read anything. Like and all I want to know is am I right? Is he holding a spade or is he holding something else? A spade being like a small shovel, just for the record, not like a card or something. So we get around and I'm like, okay, I didn't see anything telling us what he was holding. I read a whole bunch of facts about him, but I have no idea what he's holding. So I go and I ask like the front desk lady, I'm like, is he holding a spade? And she goes, yes. I'm like, okay, I knew it. Thanks. So we get down to the museum and we go back out and like it's dark, so everyone's gone. They're gone off to their dances and stuff. And so we're sitting on the benches like right up underneath this statue. And I'm looking out into Birmingham and I see a firework go off. And I was like, oh, ooh, wow, a firework. And it was just one. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. And my friend, she goes, are you sure that was a firework and not just an airplane? I look at her and I'm like, the audacity. I'm not dumb. Well, I'm not stupid. I might be dumb, but I'm not stupid. That was a firework, not an airplane. Like, how would somebody get those two things mixed up? And then I'm like, just look over there. Just look. Like, if there was one, there has to be another one. Like, there's no way they only set off one firework for the night. So we're staring, we're staring. Another one does not go off. And I'm like, you're kidding me. Now she's gonna think I'm a fucking idiot or something. Like, and then finally, like, another firework goes off. And I say, see, look, was that a firework or was that an airplane? And she goes, oh, fuck off. I'm like, what? So then the sky falls out again. It's raining, and we're like, shit. So she's running down the hill. I'm running around and down the hill, and we're running to her car. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. So then we leave there and we go to Cookout, and I've never had their milkshakes before. Cookout is a restaurant. I don't think it's everywhere. I don't want to say it's only in the South, but it might only be in the South. I honestly don't know. But I've never had their milkshakes before. So we go through and we get a milkshake. She gets a peanut butter fudge milkshake, and I get a banana peach fudge, or excuse me, a banana peach milkshake, and they use real fruit in their milkshakes. Oh my goodness. That was so good. That's probably going to be what I get every time I go. Now, don't get me wrong, that peanut butter fudge one that she had, because I tried it obviously, it tastes like a peanut butter cup milkshake. It's really good. But there's just something about that banana peach that just really hit me. And I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is what I want all day, every day. So we go back to her campus and we're sitting up in the parking garage and we're just like talking and stuff. And we get done and we go to her dorm room, which, okay, it is, but it's not a dorm room. Mostly 'cause I wanted to see what her dorm room was like, but I didn't initially. I keep trying to interrupt myself. Keep trying to interrupt myself. Gosh dang it. So she lives in a sorority house. However, the sorority house is just a dorm building. She lives on a private campus, and so they don't have like actual sorority and frat houses. They just have a whole bunch of extra like dorms, and they've just said, "Okay, we're just going to make this a sorority house." So, she lives in a sorority dorm, really. But it's really nice in there. Like, uh man, we stepped in and immediately that first breath of like dorm air hit me and it took me back. I was like, "Oh my God. This is exactly how my dorms smelt when I lived on campus." Because I went to college for 3 semesters and I lived on campus for all 3 semesters, and I'm like, "Oh, this smells exactly like how my dorm did." Ugh. I I loved college. I might have not said that in the moment because it was all panic, no disco at the time. But I love learning new things. I love going to school. I loved college. College is such an experience, and I wish I could go back and do it. But like now I have a kid and I have a family. I can't go back and live on campus. Like that's just not doable. I can go back to college if I wanted to, but really I just want to live in the dorms again and have like that one like roommate who, yeah, it's a whole experience living on campus and going to college. So I went up to her dorm and I got to meet her roommate, and her roommate is super cool. Shout out to Pookie if you ever listen to this. um so yeah, we ended up talking. I was up there talking for like an hour, I think, probably. And before I knew it, it was like 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, oh crap. I need to go home because I have things I need to do tomorrow. Um, Also, for the record, for anybody who is concerned, Ava was at her dad's. Ava's dad picked her up on Friday. So Ava's been at her dad's this whole time. I have not just abandoned my child at home or anything. No need to fear. But I'm like, I have things I need to do tomorrow that I need to be able to wake up at a decent time and function for. So I'm gonna go. I loved getting to hang out with you for like 5 hours. This was really fun. Um, I miss you. We should do this again. So I get in my car and I'm heading to the front entrance of this college campus, and I'm about to turn and I see the gates are closed. And there's a sign that says, "Cannot exit. Gates are locked." And I said, "What? They lock their gates after a certain time? Wow. great. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'll go to the other gates that I initially thought I was supposed to come in, but I accidentally missed, but it was okay because it wasn't the front gates. So I try to get to these gates and they're also locked. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have 8 miles of gas left in my car and I can't get out of this college campus and I need to go home. How am I getting out of here? So I call her and I'm like, dude, you need to get me out of your campus. And she's like, well, where are you at? And I tell her, she's like, okay, you need to come back and act like you're coming to my dorm, but don't turn there, turn before there. And there's a sign and it says like campus exit or something, and you can get out there. And then from there, you're going to turn this way and go up to the light and turn that way. And there's the gas station. It's like literally like 2 miles away. How much gas do you have? And I look, and because I'm on a hill, my gas tank, like the gas in my tank is like flowing to one side. And so I'm like, it's showing me that I have 6 miles left. I'm like, dude, I need you to stay on the phone until I get out of this campus in case I get lost again. And I'm like, I am never ever pulling up onto your campus with 9 miles of gas left ever again, which I usually never let that happen because I don't ever really go anywhere. Like, I just take Ava to school and back, and I live a mile and a half away from school. So Monday through Friday, I'm only driving 3 miles a day. And then on the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday, maybe Saturday I might go out among town, maybe. But Sunday I do grocery shopping, and grocery store is right across from the gas station. So, like, I just, like, every other weekend is when I need to get gas. So it was just that weekend when I needed to get gas. So I'm like, Kate, I'm like, girl, you need to like stay on with me, please. You need to help me get out. My car is gonna break down. We're gonna have to like have someone go get us some gas for me. She's like, dude, you need to chill. And I'm like, So I make it off campus. I get to the gas station, right? I'm like, okay, I need to go pee first and foremost. I should have gone pee at her dorm room, but I was just so like, ugh, let me get out of here. Let me get to the gas station and I'll go pee at the gas station. So I walk in and the bathrooms are closed. And I'm like, dude, I'm about to hop on the other side of this bush and go pee out here in the middle of the open. So I get gas. Um, I fill up my gas tank, like $30. Cool, let's go. Let's head out of Birmingham and at the next gas station that's easy to pull off to outside of Birmingham, I'll go pee. Because I know once I sit down, I'm not gonna need to go pee like I am right now standing up. So get in, get going. And there's like nowhere to pull off. I'm talking, I've gone 10, 15, 20 minutes north of Birmingham, and I'm like, y'all, why is there no freaking areas right here? Why do none of these exits have any gas stations to pull off at? So I'm driving, I'm driving, and finally I see exit whatever the heck number. There's 2 gas stations. So I'm like, thank Lord. Pull off, pull into the gas station. I park, get out, go to open the door, and the door is locked. And I'm like, you have got to be freaking kidding me. I am about to pee my pants. If I do not get to the bathroom in the next 10 minutes, we are going to have problems. So, as I'm turning around to walk to back to my car, the gas station attendant runs up and unlocks the door and is like, "Hey, sorry, I'm open." And I'm like, "Why the hell would you lock your door?" Realistically, it's like 12 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, so I get it. Realistically, you're locked to your door because safety purposes, and you can just get up and go to the door when you hear it jiggle. But for the love of God Almighty, I need to pee, and you need to get the heck out of my way right now. So, go pee. Thank Lord. And I'm like, you know what? Let me grab a drink. I've got like a half hour left. I just want to make sure I don't actually fall asleep. So I grab a body armor and I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. So get in my car, driving down, and I think it's 10 minutes before the Hartzell exit. Well, realistically, like 10 minutes or 10 miles before the Hartzell exit. The sky falls out again for like the third time. And I'm like, G money. And this one is worse because it's dark. I have my lights on, but not my brights. It is coming down in sheets and I cannot see the road in front of me. It is so heavy. So on the interstate where the speed limit is like 70 miles an hour, and I usually go about 75 or 80 miles an hour, I was going 25 miles an hour so that way I could see the road because that's how heavy this rain was. I couldn't see the white lines on the road. So I'm like, okay, let me pull over. Let me see how long this is going to last because the last two rains were like 5 minutes each, not that big of a deal. So I pull over, I look at the weather app. Oh no, this is not just a quick little 5 minute rainstorm. This is the start of the heavy, big, severe thunderstorms that are coming through on Sunday. And I said, oh, crap. This is that storm cell that we're supposed to get on Sunday. Technically, it is Sunday. It is after midnight. It is the wee hours of Sunday morning. I thought it was going to be here at like 6, 7, 8 in the morning on Sunday. No, it's hitting now, and I'm trying to get home. Well, I'm thinking to myself, I I'm not gonna get off at the Hartsel exit because the Hartsel exit wants me to go east and then come up north up to my house. And that is all back roads. It's all like single lane back roads. I'm like, if I get stuck in this, I don't want to run into potential flooding because I know my area is really bad for flooding because we're right there, like right in the valley and along the river. A, don't want to get stuck in flooding. B, I don't want to get stuck without cell service because these back roads, I don't know how well or poor of cell service I will have. So I'd rather stick to the interstate and roads that I know rather than taking roads that I don't know and potentially getting stuck, like stuck. And then my boyfriend would like call the police and say, "Hey, I have no idea where she's at." So I eventually get back on and I'm literally going 25 miles an hour. I have my hazards on. So I'm just going I'm going the speed I need to go so I can actually see the road. So I'm going 25 past the Hartsel exit and I'm going, thankfully, the next exit after that, which is another like 10 miles. So another 20, 25 minutes. And I'm at the next exit, which is the road that I normally take from my house to Decatur if I take the main roads. Um, that's the road that I take. So I'm like, okay, I can get stuck here. If something happens and I need to pull over for a little bit or something, I'm comfortable here because it's basically well lit most of the way. I know this road and I know I have good enough service on this road that if something happens, I can call for Josh and he can come get me. So pull off, I'm going 25 all the way back to my house. So instead of it only being a half hour drive left after I use the restroom, it is a whole extra hour. And I don't get home until 1:30. And I'm expecting Josh to be in bed already. No, he has stayed up the whole entire time because he was worried about me. Which, bless his heart, very good boyfriend to stay up and wait for me until I get home. I just feel bad because I'm like, I was unable to message you because I was so focused on trying to get home. Because if I would have had to pick my phone up while I was driving, which, first of all, I don't ever hardly do that. I might answer a call, but I do not like texting and driving unless it's like emergent. I just need to get a message to you. It's like not worth going through a whole phone call. I can quickly just send like a voice text to you, but I don't usually text and drive. So I'm like, and especially in weather, especially at night, I hate driving in weather. I hate driving at night. So I get home, it's 1:30. I'm like, babe, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he's like, hey, you're home safe. It's fine. So we go to bed and I sleep in Sunday because I'm like, F this. It was a rough night. I'm sleeping in. So I sleep in Sunday, wake up. Um, I think, I think I, oh yeah, I wake up. We go sit on the couch and I'm putting together a grocery list because I didn't get to do that this week because I've just been so like discombobulated that week. Putting together the grocery list, and then I'm like, hey, will you come grocery shopping with me, please? And I don't ever ask him to do that because I know he doesn't really like to get out of the house. He's definitely like a homebody. He doesn't like being around all the people and stuff. And I get that and I respect it. So I don't usually ask him to come with me, but today I was kind of just like, well, that day I was kind of just like, will you come with me? Because I kind of want to spend a little bit more time with you, but like I need to get these things done. So he was like, yeah, sure. So we go grocery shopping, go home, put all the groceries away. We tried to watch Tropic Thunder, but I ended up passing out. So I didn't get to watch it all. Very interesting movie. Um, Definitely not one that they could make today. That's all I'm gonna say. So then I wake up and I'm like, oh, time for me to go get Ava. So I go, we meet, I get Ava, we come home. Um, And then, gosh, what movie did we watch? What did she want to watch? She wanted to watch. What did she want to watch? It was some. Hold on. Let me go ask Josh what she wanted to watch. So, Sunday, after we got her, we are sitting down and we're eating and we're watching Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which is really good. Um, Ghostbusters was a show, a movie I grew up watching as a kid. So, it was really cool to see, like, that they did that. I know they've done like other ones in between that one. And I watched one of them. I couldn't tell you which one. It's been so long and I have a horrible memory. But it was like when they were like kids, I think, or something. I don't know. Something like that. But no, it was good. It was good. It was good. We liked it. So, all right, then start of the work week without my manager. Monday, wake up, tried to have a normal day. At the end of the day, Medicare went down in all the portals. So any Medicare patient we had, we could not run them, and we get a lot. So Tuesday, we walked into and Monday, after work, I was supposed to work an extra 2 hours overtime, and I couldn't slash didn't because Monday after work raced to the bank before they closed to finish settling some stuff at the bank with my ex significant other. Um and it really sucked because that was basically like finalizing our separation. Like the only thing left that ties me to him is Ava. And it's not like we went out in a bad way. Well, it's debatable. It wasn't horrible. Like him and I are still like we're good with each other, we're friendly with each other, we're on good terms. It's much easier to co-parent when you don't hate the other person. So, we choose to stay good with each other. Um and yeah, I mean, cuz we've been in each other's lives for like 6 or 7 years. So, yeah, Monday just kind of really sucked because it all kind of was basically finalized. Um I no longer really have anything tying me to him anymore, which is good. That's what I need. That's what I wanted. It took a really long time. It took almost just under a year to get everything sorted out and stuff. But of course, me being an emotional woman, I started bawling when we were signing the last two things. And then the banker who was helping us um, with that stuff, she started crying because she is going through a divorce and she has like a 6-year-old child with the guy. So she's just like, oh my gosh, like I have so much respect for you guys because you two are both like so civil with each other and nice. And you guys are like having conversation while sitting here. So clearly you guys like don't hate each other. And we're like, yeah, no, like we don't hate each other. I mean, he annoys the shit out of me, but he's been doing that since day one, 6 or 7 years ago. So that's not anything new. But she was just like, "How do you guys do it? Like, what did you guys decide? Like, how do you get to this point and still stay on good terms?" So, we had like a small discussion about that, but I was crying. She was crying. My ex significant other was sitting there like, oof, this is weird. They're both crying, and I'm not crying, and I really just want to leave, but I can't because that's not sympathetic. So I'm just gonna awkwardly stand here while they cry. And, we hugged, her and I hugged, and she was like, oh, I'm praying for you. You're so strong. And I'm just like, thanks. Like, I really don't want to be crying, but I'm just like super really emotional all the time now because of having a child, and it really sucks. And so I just need to cry this out. But it's also like processing tears, it's processing things. So that happened, and then I had to come home, make dinner, which I, for the first time ever, made my own tortillas, which were way better than store-bought. I did not realize these homemade flour tortillas were going to be so much better than store-bought tortillas. So I don't think I can go back to regular store-bought tortillas. You guys, homemade tortillas are so flippin' easy. Literally find any recipe on the internet. It's flour, oil, salt, and possibly baking soda or no, baking soda. I think it's baking soda. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's flour, oil, baking soda, salt. Salt's to help with the flavor. So like you can't go wrong with that. Baking powder and flour is like to actually make the thing, and then the oils to just like get it wet a little bit. You knead a little bit, roll it out into your small balls, take a rolling pin, or like what I did, I just took a glass, like a cup, and rolled it out really, really thin. They say you should do a 1/4 inch, but I just did really thin, as thin as I could get. Because I was worried about them being too thick and baking up, and then, like, when I went to fold it to make the tacos, they would break in the middle, which they didn't. I was very surprised. But Lord, I made these, and I'm like, oh no, nope, never going. I'm never buying tortillas ever again. I can't. These are too easy and they taste too good to go back to store bought. So, did that Monday. Tuesday. Tuesday walked into like 500 Medicares that need to be done in 5 minutes, which is physically impossible. So, we had a whole bunch of branches blowing up our email. Where's this patient? Where's this patient? Where's that patient? And it's like, y'all, need you to back up. Need you to hold on because I'm about to lose my shit if you don't quit emailing me asking me where patients are. I am going as fast as I can. So we basically survived on panic mode. We were on survival mode at work basically for this week. We got through that. Things kind of settled out. Tuesday after work was parent teacher conference, so we go, which Ava's doing really, really good in reading. Um, Josh does her reading homework with her every night, and those clearly have been paying off. She took her Dibbles test, and where at her first school at the beginning of this school year, she had like maybe one red, a couple yellows, and a green. This year, she had 3 greens and a blue is above a red. So, in the different categories, there's 4 different categories that we test in for reading and stuff like that. And her scores have gone up exponentially. Like, she is just doing a gosh darn good job at reading, and I am so proud of her because reading is something that I know um America at least has seen a decline about. So for her right now starting off strong to be doing that, superb, awesome. Dibbles also tests math, and we are proud that she did not decline in math. She did not go down. She went up maybe like a point or two. So she didn't make a jump, but that's okay because also, equally, we're not working with her on math after school right now. We're working with her on reading. So math is something that we can start to work on with her now that we see, oh, is it because we're doing reading homework is why she's done so well on her reading dibbles and she's not doing math homework, so that's why she didn't have such a big jump on her math dibbles? Or is it just that's just what she's good at? It's probably the first thing, but she is just a kindergartner and her teacher said, I don't know why we're testing kindergartners on certain things, like the certain math subjects, but they do. So please don't think that your kid's dumb. And I'm like, no, she didn't go down. That's all that I care about. Awesome. She went up in reading. Great. In math, she didn't go down. That's fine. That is good enough. She didn't decline. That's all that I can care about. You know? So, there's some uh online math things that we have been informed about, that I've asked about and we've gotten answers about, so I can get her some online math um accounts for things, because there's I know there's iExcel, which is a major thing in schools, but apparently you have to pay for that and I didn't know. So, I mean, I'll probably still see if I can make her an account so she can do some of the math, but I know she won't have access to everything. But then her teacher gave us a website that she's going to start signing the kids up for, um and it's kind of a more fun gamey version of a math website. It's like Bubbles or Bottles, or oh, it's Bottles. And I think she said it's free. So I can sign her up and she can do that at home while she's also doing that at school. And the biggest thing is doing it over the summer. So, because I know you get a summer break and all, but like I don't need her forgetting that stuff. Like she can do a little bit every day or every other day, you know? So, if you guys know of any like free online things, because it would be much easier for her to do things online than to like send her with like flashcards and a workbook, because that stuff is going to get misplaced and forgotten about, whatever. But she'll be on a tablet. She'll have a screen in front of her for a majority of the summer being at her dad's. So I know it won't be hard. It won't be as hard to forget about doing things. But if you guys know of any like free websites or free things for um online over the summer school reading and math stuff, definitely email that stuff to me or message me on Instagram about it. Email is averageghostmom@gmail.com. Same with Instagram. I think it's average.ghost.mom, but either way you'll find it. I think I'm the only average ghost mom on Instagram. Um so parent teacher conference was Tuesday. And then after that, I dropped off Josh and Ava at home and I went grocery shopping, because that's when I needed to do the grocery shopping, because I didn't do that on Sunday. That's what it was. I totally misspoke. I did not go grocery shopping on Sunday. I stayed home and we watched movies and took naps and watched movies and took naps, and he played a game and I took a nap, and then I went and got Ava because my credit card reset on Tuesday. Anyway, go shopping Tuesday. So I get back, and after I'm done eating, it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like, I'm not about to try and work my overtime hours today. I'm going to go to bed because this is late and I'm tired. Wednesday, wake up. Pretty good day. It was a decent work day, and I got to work my overtime. Thursday, um, started off pretty okay. Um, I take my lunch break at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Um, So I take the first lunch break of the day, and I get back, and probably at like noon we get a text from the school. Oh no, there's going to be storms after school today. We have canceled all after school activities. Please come pick up your kids at 2:30. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Why couldn't you have sent this out earlier in the day? Because then I could have taken my lunch break to go pick up Ava. But now I've taken my lunch break already, and now I have to take another break to go pick up my child from school. So then I have to stay after to make up the time that I took off for my second break. And I already plan on working overtime, so now it's just more time. And I don't really want to work overtime, but I need to work overtime. So I was just like, oh my gosh, it is something every dang day. Not to mention, I have had my days ass backwards this week. Monday, I woke up thinking it was Tuesday. Then Tuesday happened. Wednesday, I woke up thinking it was Tuesday. I sent my kid to school thinking Wednesday was Tuesday. That's how bad. We even discussed, she said, Mommy, do I have 2 more days until I don't have to go to school? And I said, no, it's 3 because today's Tuesday. So really it's 4. And she's like, oh, okay. Yep. You can convince a kindergartner of anything, even if you don't mean to. It happens. So Wednesday, I thought it was Tuesday. Thursday, I was accidentally looking at a March calendar, so I thought I thought Thursday was Monday. And then I said, wait, but didn't we just have Tuesday yesterday, which makes today Wednesday? And then I finally get sat down and realized I was looking at a March calendar, and I'm like, oh, no, it's not Monday. It's not Wednesday. It's Thursday. Wow. I seriously just need to get my freaking work done and get to the weekend so I can get a reset because good Lord, that's crazy. So then we get to Friday, and Friday my manager gets back, and it's like, thank gosh, because Medicare has just been flip flop, flip flop, work, don't work, completely don't work, sometimes work a little bit. I'm really slow right now, so maybe I'll work for you guys, but not for you guys. Freaking insane. Which it's really Medicare's only really such a pain because of how many patients we get. We don't normally have to do the Medicare patients because they have an automatic report that runs for us. But no, we have to all do it manually, or some of us have to do it manually, or like this minute I have to do it manually, but the next minute it's okay. Ugh. And we're getting emails on top of emails because we're getting held up because Medicare. So people are like, when are we going to see this patient? When are they going to come to our workflow? When are you going to get them done? And it's like, y'all, hold your horses. We're down a person. And we're trying to do all this all by ourselves. We need y'all to relax, please. Have a little bit of patience. So thank goodness she gets in. And so she helps us out. And it's Friday, so we're back to having to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday work. So, whew, Friday, I finally get to work a couple hours overtime too. So then is today, Saturday, and I have my last on call shift, which is 8 hours. And it's not on call like, oh, just have to sit by the computer and do a patient as they come through. No, it is the exact same thing as like a regular work day because the corporate has picked up has like bought so many branches that now we have like a steady weekend workflow. So one person from the eligibility team will work on Saturdays. And it's not the same person, like we all take our turn and stuff. But we had this thing going where like now we're going to work on Saturdays, but we won't work on Sunday. So we at least all have a day off. But we're all going to pick up an extra shift throughout the months to work this on call shift because it really helps to have someone from the eligibility team working and adding the on call off and doing on call eligibility because then we don't have so many mistakes being made because other people don't do our job accurately. So it helps if we just come in and do our job accurately. And then we don't have all these mistakes to have to fix on Monday on top of doing Monday's work and stuff. So, luckily, corporate hired a company who does like weekend and on-call work. So, today is my last on-call day, thank goodness, because on one hand, oh my gosh, please give me my 2-day weekend. Like regular weeks are stressful enough. But on the other hand, that on-call money is pretty good, pretty nice. So, it's a double-edged sword, but in the end, I'm not upset that we are getting rid of our on-call days, you know? Because now I don't feel like, because I wanted to work one Saturday every month, where if I wouldn't have done that, we would all be on like a 6-week rotation. So it'd be like every 1.5 months I would work a Saturday. But I was like, well, I'll pick up one Saturday every month, so I'm getting 12 Saturdays in a year, and I can work extra Saturdays, so sometimes I'll work like 14 Saturdays in a year. Because I was kind of basing it off of when we worked our overtime and all that overtime goes on one paycheck, then the next paycheck has like no overtime. So I'm like, oh, well, I'll work it on call so that way that on call shift goes on that other paycheck, so all of my paychecks are boosted a little bit, you know? Um, and also, like, I know there's a couple of people on the team who absolutely did not want to have to work on call, but like, now we have to, like, now it's part of the job. And if they want to keep their job, then they have to work the on-call shift every now and then. So I was like, oh, and I'll also like pick up one every month because then the people who really don't want to work it, I don't want them to quit because I don't want to have to do their workflow for any amount of time along with my workflow. So I'll also help, you know, it makes it so they're not doing as many on-call shifts also, um, by me picking up an extra shift. So that was kind of like a win-win-lose situation in a sense, but it definitely was. I'm willing to take one for the team because I also end up with more money on top. But like at the same time, it's like, ugh, but now I've just signed myself up for all of this extra work hours and all of this extra responsibility, and that's me definitely giving away one weekend every month. So then that only leaves me with 3 weekends open to go like do things because I really try to not go out and do things on Sunday. Sunday's really like grocery shop and reset the house kind of day. And I also don't need to be going out 2 days every weekend because I will spend money and I don't need to be doing that every weekend. So, yeah. Moral of that is I'm okay that we're getting rid of our on-call shifts, but today's my last one. I woke up and I was like, please do not let me have a migraine. I didn't, but Lord, 8 hours takes forever to get through. But it was a pretty good shift. It wasn't there wasn't like any like crazy amount of emails coming in either, because that's like the other thing is like branches will send you the stupidest emails. And it's like I could refer to any other email you sent me and you could have gotten your answer, but I know that every new patient is like it's like a whole new deal to you and you don't retain any information. But that's okay. That's fine. I guess that's why I'm here is to retain all this information for you. So here's the answer. You're welcome. But oh well, job security, you know. So, but yeah, it's been a week. It's been stressful. It's been busy. I have needed a reset day. And I took one. I took one and then I didn't tell anybody about it, so I know shame on me. I should have said something and I just didn't. But tis what tis. It happens. Um and on that note, so that's how my freaking week and a half went. Tomorrow is Sunday. This episode's gonna come out tomorrow. And I'm gonna do my grocery shopping tomorrow. I'm gonna finish up some laundry. I'm gonna get the rest of my stuff like in my house reset because that's like another thing is like I didn't clean my house like at all this past week. Um it has been it's been I am just surviving this week. I was backwards with my dishes to dinner cycle because usually in the morning, so like in the morning, I'll unload the dishwasher, so throughout the day, any dishes I make while I'm working, I could put in the dishwasher, and then while I'm cooking, any dish that I don't need, rinse it off, put in the dishwasher. So then at the end of the night, when we're done eating, pick up the plates, put the food away, rinse everything out, put in the dishwasher, start the dishwasher. So then the next morning, wake up, put the dishes away, so I have an open, clean dishwasher, throughout the day. Make dinner, put the dishes away, run it overnight. Well, I got backwards, as in I could not wake up early. I just could not get out of bed. Like every day was a struggle to get out of bed at a timely manner. Now I got Ava to school on time, but then I'd get back and I'd be like, dude, I need to like clock in early because I have all this stuff to get done. Medicare probably didn't run when my manager is not here. So I know there's going to be like all this stuff and I need to make sure like I need to help put in the work and the effort to keep the team running smoothly because I feel like I can't always count on my team to keep up on their parts. But that's also because, like, I don't know how they function and how they operate while doing their own workflow at their houses. Like, we don't work in an office, we all work from our own homes. So I live in Alabama. I think 2 or 3. I don't know where the new person lives. Um, I kind of know the new person lives in Eastern time, but that's all that I know. I don't know like where they live, but two people live in Tennessee. One person lives in either Virginia or oh no, I think they live in Virginia. And then one person lives out in Utah and someone else lives in Colorado. So, like we're like all over the place. So, we we don't get to see each other's mannerisms and how they work. So I just don't know. But like I'm like every morning I've been like I need to clock in early. Also, I didn't work overtime last night, so I have the time to clock in early today. But and it's just like that's one of the bad things I've learned about working from home is like your home is your office. So where my desk is my personal desk and my work desk, it stays a little bit more cluttered. A, it's a little bit smaller. B, because it's two in one, it stays a little bit more cluttered because I have work related stuff and I have personal stuff too. So I there's like always a whole bunch of things I need to get to in relevance to each and mail and paperwork and forms and stuff. So it always just stays a little bit cluttered. And then like Ava's desk is right next to mine. She has her own little desk that constantly for a 5-year-old stays cluttered because there's always like art supplies out and coloring things and books and crayons and marker and paint and little toys sometimes. Um so that always stays cluttered and it's right up against mine. So it kind of basically looks like my desk is a continuum and her desk is a continuum of my desk and her desk and my desk. Like it's the same desk and it's all cluttered. So when you have a cluttered desk, you have a cluttered mind, they say. Um, and it kind of just gets you a little frazzled easier. Um, and like the coffee table has been cluttered because that's where we've been eating because we like to sit on the couch and eat and watch our shows and whatever. The dining room table has been super cluttered and messy. I keep forgetting to tell Ava, "Hey, hello, Ava, when you're done eating, please put your like dishes in the sink." So she's ate and like left her dishes and then I know this is going to sound so bad. I just could not pick up her dishes and put them in the sink. I was just physically incapable for the whole week of doing that. So she had like a dish sit there for like the whole freaking week. And she's like, "Mommy, I can't sit at the table because it's messy." And on one hand, I should have said, "Okay, so can you clean your dishes up?" Because she's 5. She can do that. She can pick up her own mess. But at the same time, I didn't, and shame on me, and I just said, "Okay, that's fine. Just go sit at the coffee table," because I was just so overwhelmed. Coffee table was cluttered. My desk was cluttered. Her desk was cluttered. The kitchen table was cluttered. And because I've been backwards on dishes, so instead of doing dishes in the morning, so I have a clean kitchen and counter all day, it's been last night dishes. So then before I cook, every day this week, it's put the dishwasher away, load it up with last night's dishes, and then cook. So the dishes that I'm cooking with are not getting put in the dishwasher, they get put in the sink. And the dishwasher's never done fast enough. So by the time I'm ready to like, okay, let's load up the dishwasher, it's still like doing its thing. And I'm like, okay, well, this just gets pushed off to the next day. And ugh, like I hate when I get in that cycle. I do not like it. And it's so hard to break sometimes, especially with having such a great boyfriend because he's like, babe, it's okay. Like, we have off times. It's all right if you are energyless this week and you just can't do it. I get it. I have those days too. I have those weeks too. And I mean, you cooked dinner, you made dinner. Like, if it was that big of a deal to me, I could help you take care of it. I could help you clean up the mess. But it's not a big deal to me. And I know you're OCD about how messes are cleaned up. So it's okay. And like he's very understanding. And sometimes I feel like he's too understanding. That he's just like, babe, it's fine. And that's either because he is so understanding or he knows that like I'll pop up and pop back like the next weekend and week and I'll make sure everything gets done. But like I just uh, I feel so guilty by having like things cluttered because I have like the mantra, don't put it down, put it away. Like I think that was from TikTok maybe, but like I've been working on it and I've been putting it in my brain. I'm about to frickin' tattoo it on my arm. Don't put it down, put it away. Um, it also helps when the other two people who you live with do it too. You've seen, I don't know if you've seen those TikToks, but it's like this woman in the background, she's saying, oh, one way to help keep your house clean all the time is to get rid of the things that make it messy. And then like you'll see like women like trying to throw like grocery bag or like garbage bags over their husbands and stuff, or like toss their kids outside or whatever. And it's so true because Ava will get all this stuff out. And if I'm not conscious enough to look at it and say, oh, she got this mess out, she needs to put it away because she is capable of putting away, and I need her to practice putting away her messes before the end of the day. Like, if I'm not aware that this has happened, which is like, Christina, how are you not aware when your kid makes a mess? Look, I am, but I'm not. I always have so much going on in my head. Like, I can acknowledge my kid made a mess, but then like, okay, here's dinner. Okay, we eat dinner. Okay, it's time for to go take a bath. Okay, it's time to do your homework. Okay, now it's time for bed. Okay, good night. Bye, love you. And then get downstairs and it's like, shit, she didn't clean up her mess. But I've already put her to bed because we've had some like boom, 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 boom. You know, I forget to incorporate cleanup time in getting ready for bed and stuff. So that's another thing that I have to work on. Is making sure I remember to ask her to put in the time and effort to put those things away. And that would help me, you know? Like she'll come in, she'll put her backpack where she's been putting it, she'll put her coat whenever. Sometimes her backpack ends up on the kitchen floor. Like she'll come in, throw it on the floor and walk off and do something. Um, her shoes sometimes end up wherever they just end up, and it's like, no, 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 no. Don't put it down, put it away. She'll get coloring books out. Like right now, her desk has like some Anna and Elsa dolls, and it's got like a book and a color book and like her quote unquote credit cards, which are just old Costco and Sam's Club cards. She's got those out right now, because she was playing with her dolls at her table Thursday after we got home, after I had to pick her up from school instead of letting her go to her after school club since it was canceled because of, the 7 o'clock storms. Um, she was playing with those. So those have been out since Thursday after school. And like, it's really easy when you have a coffee table to, when you pour yourself a glass of whatever, and then you just leave your cup there because like that's just it's you don't think about, oh, I need to clean this up. It's just okay, what's next, So it's keeping that conscious mind of don't put it down, put it away. It's like, well, when you leave a room, turn the light off, which holy moly, I have no idea how my parents did it with two children. I know some of their methods that they resorted to when we were a little older with things like that. But good golly, I have one child and she leaves all the lights on in this dang house. I, ugh, s- I, I don't know. It's a work in progress. Um, Being a mom is not the easiest job in the world. Being a parent, being a parent is not the easiest job in the world. Um, it's it's a task. It's probably the biggest, hardest task you will ever be given in your life is to be a parent. Because there's so many ways to parent, and there's so many eyes that are watching you, and there's also so many eyes that you think are watching you, but they're not. And it's just like a big psychological game at the end of it all. I mean, kids will really do ya. They'll really do one on ya. Especially like as a mom, because as a dad, you know, you did not grow the child in your body for 9 months, and you're not going through the hormonal changes of all of this. And it's it, I think we can all agree it's different for moms than it is for dads because there's so much more physically taxing things on a female's body going through childbirth and into motherhood, and mentally taxing things. I'm not saying that guys and dads don't go through their own form of mental like health issues when becoming a parent, but I would have to sit here and say, as a mother myself, it's not as totally bad. Because if you write it down on a piece of paper, women have to go through the 9 months, have all those changes, then suddenly, boom, in like 7 minutes of pushing, it's all flipped over on its back. So then we have to revert back to a whole bunch of things. But like your hormones can't do that, your body can't do that, your mind can't do that. So it's like literally all these different things, and then you're the feeder. If you decide to breastfeed for however long that you can, you know, there's also being constantly needed like that. Having to give every ounce of energy and mental load, mental thought, literally every piece of you, inside out and mentally, that you have to keeping this thing alive and not crying 100% of the time. And dads don't necessarily have to go through that, you know? They have to be there to support, and that can be extremely taxing. I'm not saying it's not hard being a first-time dad, you know? Because, first-time parents, they've never done this before. So they're just flying by the seat of their pants. But then, like, there's also something to be said about the moms or dads who step into a a child's life that is not their own, you know? Because like Josh is coming in while Ava's 5. So, on one hand, he has the fortunality of missing the first 4 years, which really he has the fortunality of missing every 2 hours the baby crying because it needs to be fed. The fortunality of the baby's first solid poop, the fortunality of having to change all of those diapers, the fortunality of not having to deal with the exploded diapers or baby vomit or, the baby getting sick. Because, like, oh my gosh, that's terrifying when babies, like, legitimately get sick and have to go to the doctor. Because it's like their immune systems are so fragile. And it's like, is this going to kill my baby? Is my baby going to be dead? If I don't give the baby this medicine because I can't afford it, are they not going to wake up tomorrow? Like, that is the most terrifying thing, honestly. He had the fortunality of not having to deal with potty training. He had the fortunality of, you know, it's the fortunality of all of of not having to be there for all of the firsts, because he gets to come in when she is actually starting to understand how the world works, and she can talk and formulate sentences, and she can she's starting to get right from wrong, hot and cold, what to and not to do, but like her filter's not there, so like everything's coming out of her mouth. But then also at the same time, it's also like the unfortunality of not getting to be there for a kid's firsts either, you know? Because like as a parent, getting to see her first steps, I have her basically it's probably more like her fourth and fifth steps, but I have her first steps filmed. Um I have her first word, of course, was dada. So I have many videos of her only being able to say dada. Um, it's there's it's just such a double-edged sword. And it's so hard. It's so hard. But how did we even get on this topic? Girl, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this later after I post it. I literally have no idea how I got here. Story of my life. Anyway, so that was my week. That's why I didn't post on Sunday. It's because 2 weeks ago was starting to get hard. I made it through this week though. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. All of that. Blessed be. Praise Mother Earth and Father Sky and Gerald Time and stuff. But like I need to go because I need to go swap my laundry and put stuff away, and I need to get these episodes uploaded, which is going to take a hot minute. Um, so I I need some spooky stories, personal stories. I need you guys to send me some. I want to hear about things that happened in your life. Shoot, tell me like, did you ace that test? Uh, oh my gosh. Somebody just in my life, I know who listens to this podcast. They didn't buy a house, but like they signed. They're just waiting for like the closing to go through, so they just got a house. They just got married last month, and then they just got a house this month. Um, if they'll allow me to tell their story, that's crazy. I have some personal ghost stories that I could share. I know some other people in my life have some personal ghost stories to share. Um, I know somebody else in my life just bought a car recently. Um, like literally send me anything. If there's any tea that you guys have, any gossip that you guys have, like good juicy stories, I'm here for it. Um, oh, I could also share some recipes coming up too. Um, just tell me. Tell me what's going on in your guys' life. Keep me updated. Tell me things. I want to know everything. I want to know everything about everybody all the time, all at once. So, on that note, I'm gonna go swap my laundry and I'm gonna go clean up my kitchen and then I'm gonna go to bed. Oh crap. No, I have to make my I have to make my grocery list for tomorrow. Well, I have to go do that too. So, I'm gonna go, guys. But I will I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.